Welcome to Yearly Mobile Application. This is a yearbook for your phone. This is for virtual academies and other such schools that don't get to hand out a physical hardback yearbook. This is the Android version, but the iOS version is very similar. It just adheres to some more Apple standards, some more iOS standards, basic forms and buttons and things like that. As you can see right off the bat, that in iteration 2, we have changed the orange and gray scheme. We were at iteration 1, we were a yellow and blue scheme. So this just more uniquely identifies it. The other one looked a little too similar to Facebook and Instagram and all those other social medias. Another thing that we did add in this iteration is this sign up school feature. So we can go ahead and we can sign up a school such as the University of Memphis. You have to put an enrollment, a lowest grade, and a highest grade. So let's just assume that this is a high school because that is the highest you can go. Add its information so that people can know exactly where it's based out of. And the zip code. So upon creation, it'll generate this random code, but it's also a unique code. So this is a code that uniquely identifies this school, the University of Memphis, and this specific University of Memphis. And this is for the principal or whoever created this school so that they can keep the code, give it to their students so their students can then log in and be a part of that school. Go ahead and click OK, brings us back here, and now we're ready to create a user. Now, we are not going to enter the code we just received because all the other students are technically in this school at the moment. So we're going to go ahead and go with this school. It is a school, so it lets us through to the Create My Account. We have to enter a specific and unique email and a password that is at least 6 characters long. They have to match, and thus they do. And we come to the final stage of creating your account. Since this is a yearbook, we require a name and we require a picture. All the other information is not mandatory. You can fill it out if you wish, you can leave it blank if you wish, but we do require a name and we do require a picture. So we can go ahead and select those. We can add an activity. This would just be something like basketball, chess club, anything that you're really a part of and you want to share. Go ahead and create the user. It's going to upload the picture. It's going to upload all the information, and you saw that there was a signed in page that was an intermediate page between the other one and this one. That is something that in this next iteration, iteration 3, we will be implementing. It's going to be the principal greeting page, and so a principal of the school will upload a video, a greeting, preferably saying, "This is our school. This is what we're about to YouTube." We will grab that YouTube link, and the video will be shown on that page. The user can skip it, but obviously it's preferred that they listen to it. Upon listening to it, they will then be brought to this page. This is just your main look for the application. These 3 things are new to this iteration: the yearbook, the update, and the profile. You can see here that the tab is up top because that's typically what Android does. If you were on the iOS version, the tabs would be on the bottom. That's typically what they do. So we tried to adhere to the differences there just so that users felt at home with the application that they were using. You can see that this is also a basic yearbook feel. It has a picture and a name. Unlike a standard yearbook, you are allowed to post more creative pictures. It doesn't necessarily have to be a headshot taken by the photographer at the school or whatnot. This can be something that truly does define you. So it's just 2 columns here, but you can see that if we rotate it, we now utilize the extra screen space and put 4 columns here. So this is just a way to keep things standard between portrait and landscape. Going back over, you can also click on a user and see their information. So if we click on Ian here, we see he's in grade 12 from Memphis, Tennessee. He's a senior. You see all this information that you want for the specified user. Going to updates, these updates are to let your friends know what you're doing. It's basically kind of just a post, a news feed, if you will. It's just a big chat for the whole school. And so we can go ahead and make a post post it, and you can see that it appears here. Now, it is clear that the time is not working, and this is something to be done in the next iteration. It's just it'll be an easy fix. It's a simple miscommunication between the database time and the actual time, and so this will be an easy fix done in the next iteration. You can also clicking the X that you see, because it's only for your user. None of these other users have an X because they're not you. You can't delete their posts, but you can go ahead and delete your own posts if desired. So we can delete, it's gone, and we can make it appear again. And there it is, right? Simple delete and create here. Again, this also does have landscape functionality. In this case, it just spreads things out a little bigger, but the scroll, it still scrolls, and you can still post accordingly. Moving on, we have our profile. This is what other users would see upon clicking on your profile in the yearbook feature. We can go ahead and do that. See, so they see this, and we can go there, same feature. So this is just giving yourself an idea of what everyone else is seeing. Clearly, we have not written a description. We have not listed any social connections. So this could be a problem. So we come up here, edit profile. You can go ahead now and you can edit anything you'd like. We can add a city. We could add a description. We can add a phone number. And so on and so forth. One other feature is that you do not necessarily have to specify the URL here. You can say facebook.com/name. But if you came in here and just said name, as you'll see when we update it, it'll turn out just the same. So here we are. We have made these changes. Submit. Coming back in, you can go ahead and see it. And as I was saying earlier, you can see that we didn't specify instagram.com/, but it put it in there because it recognized that it wasn't in there. So here you go. You have your connections now. You now have a hello, which is your basic description about yourself. And you can clearly see that through here. So one last thing is if we sign out, we can sign in, just showing that this user does actually exist, and we can come back in and access the information over and over again. And here we are, same profile. One more time, we have this remember me feature. So if we sign in here, and we don't specify sign out, but we do just press the back button here. It's going to take us back to the home screen just as well. But here, it remembered our information, and we can go ahead, sign back in, and everything's there just like always. In the next iteration, we do plan on fixing the time, obviously. The next thing we plan on doing is that principal greeting I discussed earlier. Next, we plan on implementing a search feature for this yearbook. The search bar would probably be up top, and it will be a live results search. So as I hit A, it'll bring up people only with A, N, A-N, and so on and so forth, until finally it will only show you exactly what you have on the search bar. And then finally, the last thing we're going to implement is an events tab. The events tab will go right after the profile over here, and this will consist of events that happen within the school. This could be if the school gets together and goes to a corn maze, or the pumpkin patch, or they're going to get together. It's a way to tell users that something is going to happen, but it's also a way to reminisce on stuff that has happened. And so that's going to be the main functionality behind the events. And then behind that, we're just going to polish it up a little bit and get ready for the demo. So this is yearly yearbook application. Thank you.